day in paradise, folks, but don't forget to buckle up out there in Radioland. Remember, good driver, good.
Welcome back to Director's Choice. In this video, we'll prove to you that The Truman Show is a prequel to The Hunger Games. The Hunger Games is set several years after The Truman Show in a dystopian state called Panem. It follows the story of teenager Katniss Everdeen and her struggle to survive the Hunger Games and free her people from the tyrannic rule of the Capitol. The Truman Show followed the life of Truman Burbank, a man unknowingly trapped in a fake world and filmed for the world to see. Everything he does was pre-written, and everyone he meets is an actor. The Truman Show was written by Andrew Niccol and was originally titled The Malcolm Show. This version of the show had a much darker premise than the lighthearted feel-good movie The Truman Show turned out to be. The Hunger Games could easily be the darker version of The Truman Show, a sequel to the light and funny Truman Show. To support this theory, here's a breakdown of the similarities between the two shows. Among the many similarities between the shows are their main characters. Both the protagonist of The Truman Show and The Hunger Games live in a world that is completely out of their control. While we all have no control over the world we live in, these shows take this lack of control to the next level. The Truman Show's protagonist, Truman Burbank, has been trapped in a show his whole life. He lives in a huge dome, completely segregated from the rest of the world. His life is used to entertain the world, and he doesn't even know it. Every aspect of Truman's life is controlled by the television company that quite literally owns his life. He has been on television from the moment he was born. His life was televised to give hope and joy to millions against his will. The Hunger Games protagonist, Katniss Everdeen, was trapped in a similar manner. The only difference was that, unlike Truman, she was aware of the cameras that filmed her. Katniss willingly sacrificed herself so her sister, Primrose, would not have to participate in the sadistic Hunger Games. Just like Truman, she was filmed at all times, and everything around her was controlled by external forces that profited off her struggles. However, unlike Truman's perfect world, Katniss's world contained nothing but strife and misery. She sacrificed herself to save her sister and her district, while Truman didn't know he was a sacrifice to give comfort to millions of people across the world. Truman inspired hope in his viewers. He gave them comfort and helped them imagine what life would be like in a perfect world without problems. Both the antagonist of The Truman Show and The Hunger Games have God complexes and will do anything to remain in control. Christof from The Truman Show was a selfish, greedy, manipulative movie director and producer. He would do anything to remain in control of Truman's life because it made him billions of dollars. President Cornelius Snow from The Hunger Games was a tyrant who ruled over Panem. He was the president of Panem, and he lived in the capital. The capital controlled the whole of Panem and the people in it. They exploited them in several ways for their personal gains. President Cornelius Snow is similar to Christof because they would both sacrifice anyone to maintain absolute control. Yet another similarity between the two shows is their supporting characters. Sylvia from The Truman Show shares similar characteristics with The Hunger Games' Cinna. They were both willing participants who sought to better the lives of the protagonists. Sylvia is an actress on The Truman Show who plays Lauren Garland. She was Truman's love interest before she was replaced by Meryl. Sylvia fought to enter The Truman Show so she could reveal the truth to Truman. Sadly, before she can explain in more detail, she is forced off of The Truman Show. Sylvia dedicated most of her life to Truman. She fought for his release both inside and outside the dome. Cinna from The Hunger Games was Katniss's stylist. He chose Katniss's district to get closer to her and help her rise in the rebel movement. Both Sylvia and Cinna risked their lives to help Truman and Katniss. Another set of similar supporting characters is The Truman Show's Meryl and Marlon from Hunger Games. In both cases, they entered the lives of the protagonists for their own selfish interests. Meryl's real name is Hannah Gill. Hannah is the actress that played Truman's wife on the show. Although they were married, Truman could never forget his first love interest, Sylvia. In both cases, the viewers are complicit. They are aware that the lives they are watching are real, and they enjoy watching them. Viewers of The Truman Show envied Truman's perfect life. his lack of worry and real-life problems. But viewers of The Hunger Games had no reason to envy the contestants. The Hunger Games was a hostile environment that contained several violent animals. Every participant had to fight for their lives until only one of them was left. Most viewers would rather die than swap places with someone in The Hunger Games. The Hunger Games' viewers are also less sympathetic than viewers of The Truman Show. They place bets on the chances of a player's survival and feel no emotional connection towards them whatsoever. Both shows depict the questionable morals of the people in the show. The Capitol from The Hunger Games committed several atrocities against the people of Panem and the districts. They not only forced regular people to compete in a dangerous psychotic game, but they also ensured that those left behind experienced no peace either. They allowed them to maintain complete control over Panem by keeping its people in poverty. They exploited the people of Panem for their personal gains. In the same way, Christof and the rest of the production team exploited Truman. Christof stripped Truman of his right to freedom and used his life to make huge profit gains. Although the domes from both shows are worlds apart in terms of technological advancements, they both serve the same purpose. The dome in The Truman Show was used to keep Truman away from the general public. It also gave Christof complete control over Truman's life and allowed him to manipulate the environment around him. Christof had the power to change the weather within the dome. The dome in The Hunger Games is light years ahead of Truman's dome. This gave the Capitol the power to control everything within the dome, including the weather. This dome could easily be a more advanced version of Truman's dome that had been upgraded over the years. When Truman finally discovers that everything in his life is fake, he decides to leave the set and experience the real world for himself. Truman knew the ocean was the only way out, so he took a boat and started paddling towards freedom. When Christof realizes that Truman was set on going no matter what, he tried to drown him. Something similar to this happened in The Hunger Games as well. When Katniss was about to escape, the game maker created a fire and used it to push Katniss away from the edge, burning her in the process. The similarities between The Truman Show and The Hunger Games are undeniable. Simply put, The Truman Show walked so The Hunger Games could run. And that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully we were able to convince you that The Truman Show is a prequel to The Hunger Games. Check out this other recent clip by Director's Choice, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the notification button so you never miss an episode.